Hello, welcome back to the Popular Music Podcast. My name is Michael Bell and I am a music lecturer at the University of Northampton, specialising in music production.
And I am Anna Jaichner. I'm also a lecturer at the University of Northampton and I specialise in performance and vocal coaching.
So how have things been going, Anna? What have you been up to lately?
Things are going all right, thanks. I have been up to, aside from teaching, I have been writing and recording my own music, which is going to be, I was releasing as an EP, but I've decided to release as singles now. So I've actually got my first release on the 16th of June.
Amazing. So we spoke a little bit about this and you said that you initially were going to do the EP, but you've gone for singles.
Yeah.
Can you talk us through a little bit why you've chosen to do that?
I can. Well, the reason being is because the idea is to hopefully get on playlists. If I release as an EP, I won't be able to get the individual tracks onto playlists. So that's why I'm releasing as singles is simply for that reason.
It makes sense. So have you been getting yourself into this whole, how am I going to market my release, right?
Yeah, I have. It's been long, and something that I hadn't really thought about, because when I've been writing and recording, I've been so focused on that, and then you kind of end up with a product, and then like, well, now what do I do with that? So the last couple of months has been a bit of a learning curve about sort of how I'm going to market it. How do I even release it is a question that I'd never really asked myself. So that's what I've been doing, looking at sort of distribution, looking at royalties, looking at just all of that, even just sort of photos and stuff like that, things that I didn't really want to have to think about. I've really had to kind of just do it, actually.
Brilliant. So is this the first time you kind of come to think about your own release?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is really a lot. And had I known that that's something that you knew a lot about, I would have just come to you ages ago and saved myself a lot of research and time.
We could have definitely put a bit of a plan together and helped you stay creative. So
yeah,
getting back to the creative side then, I mean, what style have you written? What is the EP, I suppose, about? Or I suppose I'm calling it an EP. I know you're doing it as singles now, but what was the process behind it?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I never really kind of wrote it as an EP. I only I recorded 2 tracks in November last year. And I just really enjoyed the process because I've over the years, I've been doing this for a while, but over the years I've written and recorded stuff before and never ended up finishing anything. I've kind of looked at trying to do an album, or I've tried to do one song here, and I've tried with different producers, different musicians and whatever. And I always felt like I was sort of battling against, not meaning to be in any way sexist, but a bunch of men telling me that my ideas are wrong. And I know that a lot of women that have been in the same predicament where you kind of go, I've got this idea, and they go, no, you want to do it like this. And I ended up with pieces of work that I just were like, well, this isn't what I wanted and this isn't what I wrote. So I just kind of was like, I'm going to basically give it one more try, was really what was happening in November. And I went to my friend's studio. I found Foundry Street Studios, Northampton, sort of in the centre of Northampton. And that's run by Greg Coulson and Adam Gamage. I've known both of them for years, toured with Adam Gamage. We both used to he still does, plays for Tom Grennan. So we've worked together and lived together essentially for a long time. So I kind of trusted them both and went in with a couple of songs and just was like, this is what I want. And they went, okay, and just did it. And it was such a refreshing process for me that I was like, I really want to do more of this. I really enjoyed it. So it was just a game changer. And I think it kind of just made me realise that I know many, many excellent musicians, but finding people that understand your vision and understand and are just happy to kind of go, yeah, I can do that for you, rather than going, no, do it like this. So that's been really great. So I did 2 in November, and then I did 2 more. I just kind of gave myself the fear and just booked in, and then were like, I don't really have anything that I really wanted to do. So I just ended up last minute writing a couple of tunes, and then we did those, and they ended up sounding great. So I just happened to have an EP just because that was the amount of songs I had. So they don't enormously relate to each other. I'm writing about, myself, essentially. I guess people can interpret songs however they want, but style wise, I guess more along the neo soul vibe, I would say. And I got another bass player in, a guy called Wayne Matthews. He's a bass player, lives in Coventry, and he's just such an insane player. And I really was like, I need to have this guy because I know he's just going to make it so I'm so listen to bass more than anything. I needed that guy in, so he just kind of just changed the whole thing with the way he plays. So yeah, so style-wise, neo soul. EP-wise, does it have like a reasoning or a vibe? No, honestly, no, it doesn't. It was just a collection of songs, and now they're kind of going to be released as singles anyway. So
love it. It sounds like you've literally found your tribe, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think now you've got that. Now you've built. I mean, the Foundry's come up a couple of times in my kind of travels, so to speak.
Okay.
I was talking to a fella called Dave Crawford.
Yeah,
who does a lot of mastering for a lot
he
of artists.
mastered my EP.
There you go. Yeah. So there we go. So
oh God, yeah, he's great. Yeah.
So it seems there's a really cool sort of Northampton collaboration there between those two studios, so to speak. But yeah, it sounds like you've got. That's the key thing, right? Is building your team. It's not just about you being an artist. You've been able to sing. Now you found people who actually understand you, understand the kind of the concepts perhaps you want to go for, or the musical approach, and then they've helped you to actually build the song. So you probably can just continue going back there now. And
that's exactly what I will be doing. Yeah, I'm already booked in. So so I'm booked in to do a couple more. So I'm very excited about those. But I have to say, like Northampton as a whole, because we're so country central, you forget how many excellent musicians actually live here. And 9 times out of 10, I only see people as like a reunion at the music festival every year, which most people never know when that is unless they're playing it, because it's not very well advertised. Hopefully that will change. But that's when you kind of see people and go, God, I forgot that you're here. I forgot. Yeah. And there's, because everyone's living here and just off touring, gigging all over the country. I don't gig in Northampton that often. I'm generally gigging all over the place. But yeah, when I do, I mean, there's not a huge amount of music venues, but the ones that are here are excellent. You've got the Charles Bradlaugh, and you've got the Picture Drome, the Black Prince as well has got some really great alternative stuff going on there, and the Roadmender, but that's more sort of bigger names and bigger gigs really. But I mean, they're and the Garibaldi, yeah, they do some great stuff there too. There's loads of stuff going on, but a lot of the time you have to really find it and search for it. So, and knowing other musicians in Northampton, that's the reason I know that these things are happening. If I didn't know them, I wouldn't know anything was going on. So
it makes sense. That makes sense. I think that from the venues I've gone to, there's a real sort of intimate crowd as well. There's a real good vibe at the Bradlaugh. I'm yet to go to the Garibaldi, but I will do. Been to the Picture Drome, which was good fun.
Yeah.
But I think it's right. Northampton's a great place, I think, for venues and experimenting, with your art, so to speak. There's definitely the opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So Anna, when are your releases coming out? Where can we find them?
Ooh, okay. So you can find on all streaming platforms. My first release will be the 16th of June. And then the next one will be the 14th of July. So I'm doing one a month.
Perfect.
So one being to say, and it's not under my name also. It's Silky Wilford. So have a look for that.
Silky Wilford. So the first track's going to be out because this is July's podcast. So the first track will already have been out in June. So then you can catch the second of your tracks as well on the 14th of the month. Exciting times.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining me, Anna.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much for listening to our podcast. If you have enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe. Feel free to leave any thoughts or comments in the section below. We'll see you next time.